Welcome back, Kitchen Table Wargamers. We got a special treat today, thanks to Tropical Storm / Hurricane Nicholas. We're playing a game. No working happening. So we're gonna have the Necrons facing off against the Grey Knights, and these are two warlords, of course. We'll give you a little more information about them when we go over the armies. But this is gonna be a fascinating game, as I'm taking Swordbearers for my Brotherhood, and he's running the one that makes everything OBSEC, and he's got a lot of vehicles. So you'll see that in a second with the army reviews. It's gonna be kind of wild. Alright, so I'm running a battalion today. This is Swordbearers. You'll see I'm taking an extra vehicle or two that I haven't played with in a while, just to see how it goes. So we've got Grandmaster Nemesis Dread Knight. He has the Sigil of Exigence, so he gets to disappear the first time he's targeted, if he chooses to, or anytime he's targeted until he uses that ability. The Side Cannon, Silencer, the Great Sword. Warlord traits, he is taking the Unyielding Anvil, so everything around him within 6 inches of him is objective secure. And First to the Fray. Those are going to be his, so I'll spend a command point for that. I have the Brother Capitan. He'll be given the reroll 1s to wound. Got Drago with his Chapter Master abilities. And then we have the Apothecary back there. He's going to take Warp Shaping and hopefully give a little bit of healing to somebody that might need it. We'll see. May or may not work. Over here, this is a jumble of Strike Marine bodies this time around. I have 4 squads of Strike Marines. They're 5-man Strike Marine squads. 2 of them have Silencers, and the rest are just Halberds and Stormbolters. Have 2 5-man Interceptor squads back there. Have a Nemesis Dread Knight. He is as he appears to be. We have a Venerable Dreadnought with the Assault Cannon and Stormbolters and Combat Weapon. We got a Land Raider Crusader, folks. Actually, the last time I played this was against Necrons. What do you know? But back then we could give it AP, and that was neat. I don't think we really get to do that anymore, except for the Assault Cannon. And then I've got a Razorback with Stormbolter and the Heavy Bolters. And this list comes in at exactly 2,000 points. So I don't know, we're gonna have some fun. We'll come and show you the Necron list next. Alright folks, here we are with the Necrons. As you can see from this overview, there are not a lot of bodies to be shooting at. This is a vehicle heavy list. This is a crazy list that my buddy Tim's been playing around with, and it's kind of scary to me actually. So we're gonna have the Silent King over here. We are running the Dynasty Eternal Conqueror, so all of these vehicles have OBSEC. That's just nasty, if I do say so myself, except for the Transcendent and the Silent King. Those are the 2 excluded from the OBSEC rule there. He's also got the Interplanetary Invaders going, which allows for vehicles to either stay in combat and shoot heavy weapons with no minus, or to fall back and shoot for a -1. Kind of spicy. We have 3 Annihilation Barges, 2 Doomsday Arcs, 1 Triarch Stalker. The Transcendent needs really no further introduction. His powers are the... Oh, I already forgot. He just told me. Antimatter.
And the transdimensional.
And transdimensional.
And he's got the abilities of the 3+ save.
Yep. 3+ save.
Transdimensional portal thing.
And he can basically deep strike, or once per game with a command point you can remove him.
I think it's a stratagem.
Stratagem of some kind. So that's kind of spicy. We got 2 command barges. The one on the left here has the Voltaic Staff. The one on the right has the, what was it called?
Nanoscarab.
Nanoscarab.
And Immortal
5-up Shrugs. Yeah. So he's 5-up Shrugs on wounds, so harder to kill him. You know, the Scarabs. We all love them. Love to hate them. I think that's it. So this list, 2,000 points. It's gonna be fun. So what really frustrated me just now getting my army set up, I've got my Swordbearers, which are +1 to wound. Their Psychic Spell, there's the special thing they can do. Guess what? None of this stuff can be wounded on better than a 4+ because of its I don't remember what it was called, the Quantum Shielding. Yes.
Minus the Scarabs.
Except for the Scarabs, Transcendent, and Silent King. Yeah. So all the rest of the stuff that's also an OBSEC vehicle, cute. She's ruining my day, guys. So I'm gonna smite the bejeebers out of them, and I'm gonna shoot and like watch my bullets bounce off with quantum shielding and kind of, you know, just feel cringy inside, and then wait for my next psychic phase. That's how we're gonna play this game, guys. So there we go. These are the 2 armies. We'll come back with the deployment zones and deployment next. Alright folks, we're back. We rolled up mission number 33, Priority target. Yes, this is the fun one. I'm sure you can guess, but I'll show you. We both took priority targets. Shocking. He's taken assassination, code of conduct, any of his nobles, so that's your command barges and Silent King. Get points for killing. Is it points for shooting phase
Killing.
and? So
Killing,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter when. Okay. Yeah, I knew I didn't like it. Then I took priority targets. I'm taking bring it down because it's like everything is a vehicle and I don't want them alive. So I might as well try. And engage on all fronts. That might be something I can do and not die. I don't know. We'll see. So I've deployed over here. I've got the regular Dread Knight, Interceptors, Drago, Vendread, Interceptors. I have a Razorback with 5 Strike Marines chilling inside it. Over here is the Land Raider with Apothecary, 2 squads of Strike Marines, more Strike Marines. Brother Captain is inside that building. And the Grandmaster Dread Knight, daring Tim to shoot him because then he just disappears and goes somewhere else. Because why not? Over here, Tim's got barges, Triax Stalker, Doomsday Arc, barges, Silent King, Doomsday Arc, Transcendent, and then you got Scarabs. What a treat. Yes, so that is that. We did, with priority targets, you move your objective markers. So Tim got the first go, he moved that one backwards in that corner over there. I pulled this one forward, I pulled this one just to the side, he pulled that one back there, kind of back that direction diagonally a bit, and of course the center one stays where it is. And with that being said, I do believe it's time for the magnificent roll-off to see who goes first. And he opens with a 4, it's kind of average. I meet you with a 1, that's kind of not average. So these Necrons are going first. That could be good, could be horrific. Ha, I have no idea. We'll be back for Necron turn 1 in just a minute. Alright, so the turn 1 for the Necrons is done. This stuff is fine. That Dread Knight, Grandmaster, is no more because he was immediately targeted. And then I made the horrifying discovery. He's too fat to sit back here. It would have been beautiful. Can't do it. There was a bubble there, but his base was just too big. So instead, he ended up back there behind those buildings, out of line of sight. Not convenient placement-wise, but we have ways to deal with that. However, that did mean that the Razorback, which took 5 wounds from the Transcendent, and if any of you Grey Knight players know whether or not we can still give our Armor of Contempt thing, it used to be called True Silver Armor for the ignoring wounds on a vehicle, mortal wounds. I can't find it anywhere. And True Silver Armor now is the transhuman for strike anybody in the Grey Knight's army that's infantry. So yeah, he died, took 5 wounds from the Transcendent, which did require a command point because his first power failed. He had to spend a command point to try again. And then he randomly rolled the same power, which was cute for him. Then it got shot by the Triarch Stalker. Is that what killed it? I think. No, it was your Doomsday Arc, right? No, your Triarch Stalker hit something. Oh no, it was the Triarch Stalker shot and killed this because that gave reroll 1s in a bubble over there because he hit with it. Killed the Razorback. I lost 1 dude getting out of that. Then I went ahead and spent the 2 command points for Transhuman for these guys because they were the only things in range of Doomsday Arcs and other weapons that could see anything. And it helped. I only lost 2 more from the shooting. They passed their morale by rolling a 1, and that's the end of the story. So I lost 3 Strike Marines and a Razorback. Yeah, I think it could have been much, much worse. And the real question is going to be, how do I crack this tough nut over here that is Necron craziness? So we'll be back next for Grey Knights turn 1. So we got some things done. Mr. Apothecary jumped out, changed the warp tides to the Tide of Convergence, and then I forgot to use it in my one big combat where it mattered, and I'm very disappointed. Might not have mattered in the end, but that's not the point. Strike Squad's moved up. The Bro Capitan is a little bit further back. He cast the Gate of Infinity onto the Land Raider, which came and shot and did a bunch of shooting at this with Hurricane Bolters. Did like 1 damage. We shot at the Transcendent over there. He might have done 1 damage with his Assault Cannon. My Interceptor Squad over here shot at the C-10. That guy had to shoot at the C-10 to try to get the 3 wounds off per turn. In the Psychic phase, gentlemen, ladies, we did a whole 1 mortal wound. It was really very disappointing. So that homeboy over there is still alive with a wound, or two actually. He has 2 wounds left, right? He has 2 because of the fact that my psychic phase failed to do anything. I'm really sad. So we did some shooting over here at the Triarch Stalker. He took a couple wounds. I already mentioned he took 1. Over here, my interceptors moved up after they did a smite. They did the charging, and they killed 3 bases. If I'd remembered my Nemesis weapons and Tide of Convergence, I probably killed another base with mortal wounds. Forgot about it. Shame on me. So as it was, he got 1 base back, right? Because I killed 4. Oh, you got 2 bases back? No, you got 1. Yeah. I killed 4. He got 1 back, so he's 3 and 3 there. So it's fine. They did manage to kill the hurt interceptor in melee. Over here, we did spend some command points. So I gave this dude the Shadow of Undying Legends, rerolling ones to wound. We spent for Psychic Onslaught. Did a bunch of shooting down here to the Doomsday Arc, and we did take, 4 or 5 wounds? We just did the 4 on it because he spent a command point to give him a 4-up invulnerable save. It's rude. Very rude, sir. Would have done a lot more work without it. This guy, so here's what happened. He's on 1 wound, and I'm not totally stupid. I just relied on the luck of the dice, which makes me totally stupid, right? So he charges. I fail the charge, so I spend a command point to reroll the charge, which he then makes. Then I spend the 1 command point for Thunderous Stride. On a 2 through 5, it's D3 mortal wounds. On a 6, it's flat 3 mortal wounds. And yeah, I rolled a 1. So I would have taken the 2 wounds off from the psychic phase that we failed because I tried it for grins and I rolled a 4 naturally. So it would have been the 2 mortal wounds. So he would have been down to 3 wounds left. Then I hit him and I would have killed him. But because I rolled a 1, I didn't. Then this guy, he, gets to hit back and he gets to ignore invulnerable saves. It's also very rude. So he gets 2, total of 2 through on me. And what does he roll? Boxcars. He rolls boxcars. Thankfully, this guy's got 13 wounds. He's still there with a singular wound left, and I'm super salty. I was going to do that cool thing, and it backfired. It was such a great idea. It theoretically would have killed him in that first turn, and it did not. So there we have it. Anywho, that's all fun stuff for the game. It is what it is. I scored 3 for priority targets, as did Tim. I scored 2 for engaging in the fronts, and that is it for this turn. So we'll come back, and I'm down to 3 command points because Grey Knights still use command points like nobody's business. So we'll be back in just a second for the Necrons turn 2, and there's going to be a lot of annihilation happening from annihilation things. So, might be a short game in the long run here. Alrighty, so the Necrons turn 2 has come to a close. So the Land Raider died, which is not really surprising anybody, but it took basically everything shooting at it, so I was alright with that. And then, of course, he whittled it down and got his kill from one of the 2 character barges, so we got 3 points for Code of Conduct for doing that. Cheeky, I know. Did not explode. I was very disappointed because the Land Raiders are few things in the game that still do really good mortal wounds when they die, so I was really kind of bitter about that. And I lost a dude from each strike squad getting out. Well, could have been a lot worse. All of their small arms fire went into this interceptor squad, who, thanks to having some cover, survived everything until... Was it your last command barge that killed them too? So that's where he got another, right? So he killed another unit with a command barge, so he picked up another 3 for Code of Conduct. And then he was super cheeky. Mr. Silent of the King came down here and just point blank shot at my Dread Knight, and he lived for the Miniers, and then the Silent King finally picked him off and killed him.
Miniers went at the other one.
Oh, the Miniers went at the other one and did nothing, but the Silent King did kill Homeboy here. So Silent King picked up another 3, so he actually comes away with 9 points right off the gate in Code of Conduct. I'm very disappointed about that. I think that was it. So there was no charging happening. I got my dudes out to tempt him to charge with vehicles that I hoped weren't good in melee, and he decided not to do that. So yeah, that's where we sit. We're going to do a lot of smitey smites, and I don't know. I would like to actually kill something this turn. It would be amazing. I'd be so excited. It didn't go well last time, killing things. So we shall return momentarily for the Grey Knights turn 2. Alright, so the Grey Knights turn 2 has ended. but he kind of stayed put over here, holding down the objective. Over there, Strike Marines got into that building, holding nothing down, but staying out of line of sight. Drago's still back there, but I did Gate of Infinity, Mr. Venerable Dreadnought over here. So he has arrived. He has his Armored Resilience on him. He rolled a 7 on this charge into the Stalker. That's easy to say. So I CP rerolled it into an 8, neither of which are a 9. So he stayed put and did nothing really, except he fired the last shots into the Citan that killed it and brought it down with his assault cannon. Bravo! The Psychic phase was amazing. Interceptors failed to smite. Grandmaster Dread Knight failed to smite. These guys over here did successfully cast Hammerhand, which was then promptly denied by the Silent King. These guys also cast Hammerhand. Yay for them! And the Dreadnought cast his Armored Resilience. Those were the only three successful casts, and then one of those 3 was denied by the Silent King. It was very rude. It was a horrible, atrocious Psychic phase, aside from Drago casting Gate of Infinity. And that was it. So we successfully killed the big scary mortal wound output thing and invulnerable save ignoring dude. So that was kind of nice. I did get into combat over here. We charged. He intervened there. Did no damage, or 1 or 2 to him, 1 or 2 to him, 1 or 2 over here. No, we did actually a couple to him, but didn't kill any of them. I was very disappointed. Lost 1 to Overwatch and lost 1 in melee here. Yeah. I was hoping for more. I was really hoping my Vendread would have made it into combat because he's fun in combat. But no, he didn't. He was feeling saucy. So we'll see what happens next. A lot of shooting still. Lots of things are finna die. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I did score 10 for primary, and I picked up 3 more for priority targets, same as Tim. I got 1 for Bring It Down for killing the Citan, and another 2 on Engage on all the fronts. So if it wasn't for Mr. Tim's silly code of conduct, getting tons and tons of points for no apparent reason, this would be a close game right now. Mwahaha! So I'm going to try to get rid of all these command barges and things, and hopefully that limits it a little bit. But I don't have a lot of faith in that happening just yet. So we'll be back for, it's going to be Necron's turn 3. The Necrons are on the move. It is the end of their turn. This silly fool has come up here to contest my objective. I think that's very rude, sir. This guy, I would call him a silly fool, but he just one-shotted my Dread Knight, so he's not that silly. And he had a few attacks left that he didn't use. So the Grandmaster Dread Knight is now gone. It's okay, I guess. These guys, I'm actually proud of them. They survived basically all the shooting, and he had to shoot just about every single thing at them, except for the Doomsday Arcs, which shot... Oh, and the Triarch Stalker. Took all of their shots to get rid of my Dreadnought. However, Mr. Dreadnought had one job, to ignore wounds on a 6. Guess how many of those he ignored? 0! He didn't ignore anything. I'm so disappointed about that. So he died, but it did take all of his army to shoot at them, so nothing shot at my little interceptors, and the Dread Knight took 1 shot from a Minear that I had to CP reroll because that's nasty, the flat 6 damage. And then he got charged and smacked in the face, and it was bad. So that's it. That is the end of the story there. That is the end of Grey Knights, of Necrons, turn 3. So Grey Knights turn 3 is coming up next. I have few things I can do. We'll see if they amount to anything. We'll have some fun, and we'll be back to show you what is left of the Necron forces after I decimate them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Grim. It's the end of Battle Round 3. I know I boasted that I was going to annihilate. It didn't happen so much. So I brought Drago out, and then I learned this cool, horrifying rule that he makes everything fight last. I didn't know that was a thing for him. I was a little bitter. We went back and forth. We Googled everything. We looked up all the rules, and poor Tim was right, and he sat there justified and smug. I said, screw you, and I sent Drago in anyways, and Drago did die, but I had 2 command points in my pocket, so I used my finest hour, and I smacked him real good too, so he's got a whole 3 wounds left. Which means, if anything is alive after this, and I can get him close enough to smite him, I might potentially kill the Silent King. It's a chance. It's a really slim chance, but it's a chance. The bad news is, when he did his little pile-in crap, he got on that objective, and it's very disappointing, so yeah. These guys over here, we did some shooting. All the shooting and chip damage and everything we could went into the Silent King. These guys charged into the boat and the Scarabs. We killed the Scarab base. Wounded this pretty good, but didn't quite kill it. Didn't try to attack that one, just because we didn't want to. this guy was able to kill one of my interceptors, so that's that. My bro Capitan over there boldly came out and did the wounding, but you either saved one or I failed to wound one.
I dumped him down
oh
to
no,
4+.
he spent a command point to do the 4+ invul save and managed to keep his barge alive over there. Rude of him. And you'll notice my brother Captain's missing a few wounds. That's because he cast the biggest Gate of Infinity ever seen in history and blew his own brains out. The 5-up ignore mortal wounds saved him 1 wound off that, so he only took 2 instead of 3. So that's cool. And the Apothecary came over here, valiantly stood his ground, valiantly failed to do anything. It's amazing. They don't actually have a Stormbolter. This is the wrongly modeled Apothecary right there. So he couldn't even shoot. He failed his charge. Couldn't re-roll it because then I wouldn't have been able to make Drago stand up after he got murdered in the face by the Silent King. So I chose to murder him back, and it almost worked. Oh. That's the other thing that made me kind of sad. Drago cast Empiric Annihilation, what's that called? Empiric Amplification onto the Silent King. That gives my weapons a +1 damage profile when going into that said target. Well, guess what? This guy decided to deny. Yeah, that one spell. Yeah, so Drago would have killed him. That's what that means. Drago would have killed him. Anyway, but no, he denied my spell. You can keep looking smug. It was a perfect turn. It was actually really funny. I sweated and I cried a lot about that whole fight last thing over there. Then I realized I could make him fight when he died, and it still didn't really work out. But I tried. So that's it, guys. The end of my turn. I picked up 3 more for priority targets. I still haven't brought anything else down because things are limping around with a single wound or 2. I'm engaging in the fronts. That's it. And I scored 10 on primary. That's going to be hard to do this next turn, but we'll keep trying. And we'll be back for the Necrons turn 4, and my, 4 units left on the board might not be around after that. So it could be a real short summary in the next turn. We'll see, folks. We'll see. Well, the Necrons failed. I still have 2 boys over there. Yep, they're not dead. He thought he was going to table me this turn. I still have 4.5 Strike Marines. Yes, that's right. I have a total of 6.5 Strike Marines left on the table. Bro Capitan, he did. Interceptors in the middle, they did. Silent King ran away. Scarab Base ran away to get over here, so I can't even smite the Silent King. I'm a little bitter about that. And, of course, the Apothecary, he did. It did take 2 Doomsday Arcs to kill him, so I'll give him some props for that. I guess the Brother Captain, in the same vein, he took like 3 Annihilation Barge, their big cannon things in the face before he died. And he had the Can 2 Vambrace, which it's a relic that reduces damage by 1. Didn't matter. So, it is what it is. I will actually get 5 points for my primary. Proud of that. And then the game will probably mostly end. So, that's fun. We're going to have a good time. We're going to see what, if anything, I can do. And we'll come back and show you the results. Alrighty, folks. It is the end of my turn. I did things. I'm so proud. So, over here, it was a smite. Did the smite kill him? It was the smite that killed him, yeah. The smite killed this guy. He did not explode. He just died. I did cast that smite on a magnificent 12, so I lost a dude from that. Thanks, go me. Nosebleeds all around. Then we charged and we killed this guy. Cool. We actually did chip some wounds off of him with Stormbolters before the magnificent charge. Then my last 2 Strike Marines over here, they smote the Scarab Base, took 2 wounds off of it. Then we shot it, and one whole guy forgot to shoot his gun, so I missed with half the shots, and then I don't even know if I wounded him. So I got to charge him and killed him in combat. Glorious combat. So we're proud of ourselves. And that's all I've got left on my army. So I've got 4 Strike Marines over here, 2 over there, and it is now going to be Tim's turn. 5 the Necrons. And I did score 2 Bring It Downs because I killed 2 barges, so I'm proud of that. It's magnificent. And I got priority targets. Other than that, it's not going swimmingly for the Grey Knights at the moment. We'll be back at the end of Necron turn 5. Well, as was rather expected, lots of shooting went here, killed them, poor boys. A bit more shooting went over there, killed them before the Silent King could charge him, so he's not on my objective. Haha, haha. Not that that really mattered. He did pick up his last priority targets +2 because he stole mine out from under me, so he maxed that one out naturally. And that is the end of the game. I nearly got the Silent King. If he hadn't denied that one power, Drago would have killed him, and I would have been so proud of Drago. Killing him on death would have been lovely. So that's my first outing with these Grey Knights against this particular type of list. And it's not the most common Necron list, so I'm not horrified by my score. But it is a 56 points for me to 97 points for Mr. Tim. And the only reason he didn't max out and get 100 points is because I only brought 4 characters, which is kind of slim. In most Grey Knight lists, you will see a few more than that. So he could have easily maxed that out as well. So yay for me. I built around him on accident. But that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. This has been a fun one. It was very interesting to see if or what I could do against this list because he has OBSEC on all the vehicles. And because he has the silly can't wound on anything better than a 4, or the transhuman, whatever you want to call that, for his vehicles, makes it a really wild list to play against. So it was sassy, sir. Appreciate it. It was a fun game. Do you have a particular favorite character from your list or units?
For this one, I think it's just going to be the Silent King, just because of his fight. Just to watch your frustration on fight last.
Just to watch me go pale when he said, "Oh, he fights last." I'm like, "But I charge. It doesn't matter." It does matter. It doesn't matter. I'm so sad. That is something I find kind of interesting that the Grey Knights don't really have. I think there's one warlord trait for one unit that you can give a fights first kind of a thing. I'll have to look into it some more, but you're then looking at either a Brotherhood that's built around that or some patrols. And my P-Brain didn't handle the patrols very well last time I tried it, so I might have to look at that again. But I like this list that I brought. Maybe not the Land Raider, maybe not, I don't know. But it was fun. It was like, it was really intriguing. So I'm definitely going to play around with this some more, take your feedback and your comments. But yeah, if you run into that particular Necron list, I hope you got something that kills vehicles a little better than mine did. Yeah, it's been a fun time. Thanks for watching. This has been another Kitchen Table Wargaming, a Battle Report.